Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is RemovableSanity and today I'm reviewing Brok the InvestiGator on the Series X. This has been developed and published by Cowgat Games. So what is Brok the InvestiGator? Well, Brok the InvestiGator is a point and click beat 'em up with RPG elements game. The premise is you control Brok, a private detective and former boxer who lives with Graf, the son of his deceased wife. Although he could never elucidate the nature behind her accident, recent events may shed some light on an even more tragic outcome, one that may be linked to their own existence. The game boasts an 80s/90s cartoon style, choices that impact gameplay, 2 playable characters, brawl mode and detective mode, collectibles to unlock rewards, fully voiced and support for mouse and keyboard. First up is accessibility. With regards to accessibility, there is a small number of options to help you play the game and enjoy it to its fullest. The biggest is easy mode, which allows the game to be played using the point and click only by bypassing the fighting elements. There's also prompts during the game if you fail too many times to drop the difficulty, but apart from that, that's it. Next is gameplay. Before I start, please note that I did back this game on the Kickstarter campaign. However, like others I have backed, this will not influence my decision on how I rate the game. The gameplay starts with you waking up in a room full of flames. This is effectively the tutorial, and through the course of this event you will learn how to switch between point and click, detective mode to beat 'em up, brawl mode seamlessly. Puzzles here are not just about working out what needs to be put where, and in most instances you can choose to use your brain or instead your brawn. The first instance of this is breaking some glass using your brawn to get a metal bar to help your trapped wife under fallen furniture. I won't spoil it for you, but after this harrowing event you wake up from what was a dream, and a real life gameplay then can start commencing. Here we find out about the character's Brok, who is living with Leah's son Graf and has been caring for him for the last 5 years since his mother died. Their relationship is tenuous and he's in his final week of exams at school that will guarantee him a life in the dome if he passes. Over the course of 6 chapters, players will explore the lives of these both characters and their shared trauma that defines their relationship. You see, the game is set in a dystopian world where society is divided into 2 groups. The drummers, the elite who live in a domed city where life is pretty easy, and the slummers, the poor souls who have to survive in the toxic wasteland that surrounds the dome. The first chapter starts and is called Across the Border, where Brok receives a call from a police officer named Sin, who won't tell you any of the details over the phone as he thinks it may be tapped. So you go to his apartment and learn that he's lost his gun and the handmade handkerchief from his wife while he was on patrol in Alley 12. Seems simple enough. During this mission you will travel to different areas on the map and potentially get into fights if you have selected one of the harder difficulties other than easy mode. Both Brok and Graf are playable and both can do a little fighting throughout the game. Both characters feature a simple 1-button combo that have a few special attacks, each with their own significant abilities. Now you don't have to fight, and during some encounters you'll be given the option to choose between 2 paths on how to escape a situation, with intellect or with violence. Should you choose the violent path, you can find yourself in a typical Streets Rage-like fights that need you have to drop the opponents quickly. You have your standard attacks like jump, block and special, all linked to various buttons on your controller. You can mix these, perform different combos and moves as you navigate up, down, left and right around the screen. When your health bar takes significant damage, your special bar starts to increase, and you can unleash a powerful special move with the click of a button when it fills. After you have defeated enemies, they yield experience points, plus money or items as rewards. Experience points work towards leveling up your character, allowing you to boost your attack, health or special, so that later encounters will be easier. Anytime during these fights, you can also use healing or boost items and weapons that you have in your inventory that you've picked up over the course of the investigations. Energy drinks are especially useful as they will boost your strength for 30 seconds, which will come in handy for fighting against multiple enemies or boss fights. At night, when Brok isn't doing his job, he also partakes in some VR fighting sessions for some extra coin organised by his tech junkie friend Shay. These play out like mini beat-em-up levels with a boss fight of sorts at the end. Now, outside of using your fists, you'll also be doing a lot of typical detective work, like noting NPC conversations or poring over every detail of a crime scene, or even platforming over security fences before solving a puzzle to hack into a computer. The game fluctuates between so many different elements alongside the fighting aspect that you'd be hard pressed to find a quiet moment. Puzzle solutions, as previously said, also have multiple ways to complete. However, if you do find yourself stuck, solutions can come in the answer of a QR code. Each area has 3 QR codes, Brok calls them ads or coupons, that you can collect and use to get a hint of where you need to go or do next. These hints can be just pointers to straight out solutions if you use enough of them. Switching from brawl mode to detective mode, point and click, is as simple as pressing the Y button. The point and click part of the game is also intuitive. For instance, by holding down a button to bring up an inventory wheel, it allows you to switch, say, to a magnifying glass if all you can do is examine an object. Word balloons appear if someone or something is available to talk to, and Brok's scaly green hand appears if you can interact with something. Holding down the X button highlights and labels all interactable objects in the room, with the Start button bringing up your inventory. In the inventory screen, you can examine and combine objects. There's also a phone mechanic at the bottom that allows you to call characters you've interacted with or checks text messages which may contain important information to your story. The game overall is very enjoyable and well paced that allows you, the player, to take it at your own leisure. To help, this is even provided side quests with additional puzzle and scavenger hunts, ensuring that there's always plenty to do on each new area you encounter. And if you still find yourself stuck or tired at any scene, many chapters allow you to switch between Brok and Graf adventures on the fly, allowing you to take a bit of a break if it's just too much. During these, you can work on one quest at a time until it's finished, or you can flip back and forth between the two characters to add dynamic direction to your experience. Another great feature is that you'll be treated to a flowchart at the end of the game that will give you a breakdown of the choices you made and how many others made the same choice. It's always a cool insight seeing if you played it safe or otherwise, and helps you want to go back and rectify those mistakes. Next is graphics. The game's visuals are a lovable nostalgic throwback to 90s cartoons and provide a deep sense of enjoyment for us older gamers who remember the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Each character seems like they've just stepped off the artist's animation cell, with the animation smooth and fluid. All cutscenes happen through a standard comic book style dialogue bubbles with some static image panels integrated to show the more highly charged action moments. The backgrounds showcase off, in my opinion, one of the best cartoon adventure games in a very long while, and whose beautiful detail allows you to feel the environment jumping out at you. Because of this detail, it also allows you to realise that there is more here than originally seems, and by switching from detective mode to brawl mode, you can access part of the background scenery that is all too often hiding essential items. And finally, sound. The game is fully voiced and all characters, be it different animals or robots, are crowned with personality, which is then brought to life with its top-tier voice acting. Each voice fits the character they were trying to be perfectly, which helped as then I didn't mind having discussions with the other characters multiple times. At the end of the game, you are very well versed in each of your new friends and foes alike, thanks to the well-written dialogue and voice actors bring them to life.
From you, Mr. Brok.
Don't get your hopes up, nephew. All I ask is that he doesn't screw up like he always does.
The music for the game is as equally compelling with each scene, zone and quest unique to the scene unfolding, ranging from serene classical piano tunes to upbeat jazzy tunes, each perfectly tuned to the emotion that the scene wants to deliver. Sound work is done really well too, with punches and environmental noise oozing from the game to deliver the power required. My recommendation here again would be a good quality headset to really enjoy the complete experience. And this leads me on to the rating of the game. Now I rate games in order of avoid, on sale, great purchase and must own. My rating for Brok the InvestiGator is a must own. The game is fun, colourful and tells its story well. The experimentation of point and click mixed with beat 'em up genre shouldn't work, but it does perfectly. The puzzles are challenging but fair, and the fighting enjoyable but not needed if you want to do just the story. Everything here has been well thought out to give the player the best experience. The game is currently priced on Xbox at £20.99 or approximately $25, and depending on your skill and patience would give you about 15 plus hours worth of gameplay. However, with multiple endings, side quests and conversations to find, you can easily duplicate that. This is a superb game that provides a truly unique experience. It is a beautiful looking game with fantastic voice acting that helps shows off its complex story. Combine this with its blending of two very different styles of gameplay that work more than you would expect, and you'll be missing out on a great experience if you don't pick this up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I do hope you like this review, and if you do, please like, share and subscribe if you so wish. And if you would like to put some notes or even just a comment in the comment section, I do like reading them. Anyway, have a great time gaming, and I'll see you all again soon.